Hi, I'm Sasha.
And I'm Pooya.
And this is Mess Magnets. We're back, baby. That's right. We're unfortunately missing Kirsten. But listen, it's fine because we're going to be doing something new. If you're listening to us on the Mess feed, come on over to YouTube because we have a wild episode to talk about. But before we get into everything, maybe this is your first time listening to Mess Magnets. Usually, me, Sasha, and my co host Kirsten cover a wide range of pop culture topics. Listen, if you're needing to be educated on what's trending, we got you. That's Mess Magnets. And of course, we always end the show, so stick around, with a listener submitted anonymous. Okay. This week's a fun one, so get excited. But that is Mess Magnets. But this time, with Kirsten away, I needed to bring in our friend Pooya. And the last time Pooya was on, we talked about KSI. So this time we're doing it again, apparently, because that's all we talk about.
Yeah, apparently I'm like the go-to for the UK YouTube scene, and also when I'm here, Kirsten's magically unavailable. So I'll take that personally on the second note, but I'm excited to be here because this is a fun thing to talk about for me.
I love it. I'm really excited because listen, y'all, today is going to be something different, but stick with us. If you're a messenger, I think you're still going to like it because guess what? Today we got our Fantas. The girlies said no. Yes, confirmed. All right, confirmed. My Fanta is here. It's not Fanta Light. And we're going to be talking about Inside, which is, maybe you don't know. And you're welcome. Pop culture knowledge time.
Got you.
Yes. But I was introduced to this group by Pooya, and it is a show, Big Brother type show, everyone. And it's free on YouTube. You're welcome.
A lot of people just sat up on their chairs when they heard that, like, oh, wait, Big Brother. All right, I'm listening.
Come back. I'm back, baby. Yes. So basically what's happening is the Sidemen, which maybe Pooya, is it better for you to explain it? I feel like you're the expert.
Sure.
The last time we talked is when I started watching the Sidemen.
Yeah. So the Sidemen is a YouTube collective of 7 members, 7 lads who are about our age. They're now hitting their 30s and everything, but they've been on the scene for over a decade. They have plenty of members that have done a lot of different things, most notably, of course, being KSI, who has the most subscribers and also has kind of put YouTube boxing on the map. His first second fight technically with Logan Paul is what got the Paul brothers involved, and he should apologize for that because now Jake Paul thinks he's the shit.
Correct.
And he was gonna fight Mike Tyson. Now he's not fighting Mike. It's a whole thing. Whatever, that doesn't matter. But they've been doing a lot of different things. They have a weekly series called Sidemen Sundays, where every Sunday on their group YouTube channel they put out long form videos that are either different challenges or adventures. Their most popular show is their cheap versus expensive, or $1 million versus $100 vacation or experience, and those are very fun. So I definitely recommend check them out if you haven't before. But they recently decided to dip their toes into something different. So they decided to kind of take on the reality TV scene a little bit by producing this show called Inside, which I just read an article actually that kind of expressed it pretty well. It's like a marriage of Mr. Beast and the real world, and they put them together. So it's very much a YouTube show, but they've definitely taken elements of the reality TV side of things. And let me tell you, it makes sense to talk about it on Mess Magnets because it was a messy week. It was 7 days.
Yes.
And it was incredible.
And in case you were wondering, how do you watch it? We're just going to tell you now. Episodes 1 and 7, I believe there's 7, maybe 7.
7, yeah.
7, because I know there wasn't one on Saturday. But either way, the premiere and the finale are on the channel, the Sidemen, just Sidemen. Go to Sidemen. And episodes in the middle, 2 through 6, 7, I can't remember anymore. Sorry.
They had an unseen bits episode on a Saturday, so that would count. But those are on their second channel, More Sidemen.
More Sidemen. So that's how you watch it. Sidemen and More Sidemen. All right. And they make it very easy to watch. Don't worry.
There's I'm pretty sure there's a playlist that if you look up the playlist, they have one with all of them. You don't even have to go through the channels. You're set.
Yeah. So there you go, because folks I know always want to know. So let's get into it. Okay, so now that you know who the Sidemen are, you can forget about them because they're just hosting. The Sidemen chose 10 influencers to come in and get locked inside the same house together for an entire week. Obviously, that's why it's called Inside. And the contestants, of course, are competing against each other in a variety of daily tasks. Some tasks, are crazier than the others. And then they have a prize pot of £1 million. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. More than Big Brother. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, but are you though?
Right? And it's YouTubers. But anyway, that's the pot. And, that's obviously why a lot of these folks want to come on. And now that is the setup. All right. So Pooya and I had already talked about like, we need to figure out how to cover this. This is going to be crazy. Then they dropped the final cast member. Well, I think our people, that is our number one cast member. Because listen, y'all, Manrika from The Circle is on.
It's so funny because we were actively talking about in the
Correct.
week leading up that they had announced it was happening. We're like, should we talk about this? And we're like, okay, let's see what the cast is. Let's watch the first episode, figure it out. Then they dropped 2 cast members a day. The last day they dropped Phantom, who's part of AMP,
Yes.
content creator in his own right, and Manrika. When I woke up and saw that, I was like, okay, the episodes could be trash. Sasha's going to make us cover this. It's going to happen. I knew how excited you would be.
That is my girl. I am ride or die for Manrika. And I think Manrika works well. And we'll talk through this, I think, a little bit more. But Manrika works well with a American audience, I think, better than a British audience.
So here's my thing. I think Manrika and then overarchingly, more so this content hits better.
Correct.
Because I feel like, and we'll definitely get into this, but the UK Big Brother series is all public vote. And the UK audience definitely, when they don't like a thing, they just don't like it. And they're gonna yell they don't like it. So much so that quick spoiler alert,
yes,
it's not a public vote show, and the winners aren't determined by a public vote. So many people wanted it to be a public vote. The Sidemen have come out and said, never. When we do season 2, still not a public vote. So stop asking.
Yeah, because again, this is not shade. Okay, this is just something I have noticed. I be looking in them comments, and I just it's just not shade. I just think there's a certain age range that watches a Sidemen.
Sure.
I think Pooya and I are on the older side of people that watch.
We're their age, which means that we're unique.
Yes. All right. And a lot more boys than girls. I want to say it. Not to say that there aren't any women that watch Sidemen, but it's just it feels like a lot more skewed to like a young male audience. So when this said audience is now watching something that maybe is a little bit more wide world and a little bit more female driven, I think they can be some issues.
Well, it's interesting because obviously, so they released this cast of 10 people, and immediately I recognize some people myself, but
me too.
Looking through the comments before the show started, it was like they all knew the same 4 people. They were like, okay, I know who Angry Ginge is, I know who Phantom is, I know who Specs is, and Joe Weller, and that's it. And I was like, okay, so Joe Weller's a fellow YouTuber who's worked with the Sidemen in the past. Fun fact, KSI's first boxing opponent before Logan Paul got dusted by KSI. And then you have Angry Ginge, who's a big Twitch streamer, and I think the biggest Twitch streamer right now in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Phantom, Phantom is a big streamer, content creator.
If you know Kai,
if you know Kai, you know him. Literally made famous by the phrase Phantom Tax. That is now a part of the vernacular. And Specs is also big on like the podcasting, digital content creation scene. But then there's other people here that they just didn't know. A lot of people didn't know. Manrika, obviously, we knew because we watched The Circle. But we had Chloe Burrows from Love Island, UK, who was making an appearance here. We also had Castillo, the rapper, which I'll say this about Castillo. I didn't know him, but I'd seen a viral clip of him once where he was asked about hypermasculinity. And he was like, I don't even know what that hypermasculinity thing is. Shout out to my LGBTQ people, bruv. And I was like, okay, that is not what that was, but that is all. Like, it was like, okay, you're clearly being nice, which I do appreciate.
Correct.
But he has been, we'll talk about him, and he's a lot. We had a couple people from TikTok land, in Nife and in Leah, but all the things I'm saying right now is to make sure that y'all know that it felt like the audience came in knowing 4 people and therefore rooting for those 4 people more so than anything out the gate.
Yeah, and we also had Leah, right, who is one of the people that the audience, I think, didn't know but seemed to love.
Oh,
And
absolutely adored. Yes.
and it again felt very much, I think she was just fun, but a lot of, again, folks were like, she looks so beautiful, she should win. Okay, that's nice. They're all beautiful. That's the point. That's why they're like
A
on this
public
show.
vote is so triggering to me when people
Mhm.
come in with followings. You know,
Yes.
let's flash back to Puya's journey as a podcaster. So when I first started, I was in this competition called So You Think You Can Podcast. And we were put up in teams, and then one person from each team, kind of like the champion of that team, would face off in the finals. The winner gets a live feed update spot.
Mhm.
Sorry, live feed LFC spot. Shout out Melissa. She ends up winning the whole thing. I was put in a group with one lovely man, by the way, Adam Bongiovanni, who had a YouTube channel and had 200,000 subscribers already. Now, I came in, I was like, well, I'm not going to win. It's a public vote. Like, it doesn't matter what I do. I was like, I just got to make the best impression I can. So for me, it's like, what's the point of doing all this if it's only going to come down to who has the most followers that are watching the content? That's not it for me. So I'm happy they didn't do that. And honestly, once they explained the premise, Sasha, I felt like, okay, this is going to be very intriguing, because it's not like a Big Brother where there's going to be, you know, challenges that are going to give you immunity necessarily.
Yes, correct.
There's going to be vote outs, but there's no criteria for the vote out. Anyone can get votes except for the one round where 3 people had immunity for doing the best in a challenge, ironically enough.
Mhm.
But then it's still more so like a real world where it's kind of just the day-to-day lives of these people. But the biggest twist and the best thing about it was the £1 million they've put forward isn't the prize pot that they're going to go home with, because they have a mechanic here known as the shop, and they give away their phone, all of their luxury items. They come in basically with some clothes, and really they're only wearing Sidemen merch the entire time.
Yeah, and makeup. That's it. So
Yeah,
makeup
that's
and
it.
probably underwear. That's
Yeah.
all they bring of their own.
And like everything else they want down to, and their food is minimal. Their food is rice and beans, or was it porridge or oatmeal for breakfast?
Yeah,
Something like that.
listen, if you know one thing the British people cannot do is food. They
Listen,
colonized the world for them spices, and now they're charging money for it.
but I love this twist
So
because
good.
very early on, we've come to realize, oh, they're not going to have anything. And
Nope.
obviously, they got a nice space. They got a nice living space. The beds seem a little shifty, but that's fine. But the prices of these items are not as you would imagine, Sasha.
Y'all, literal nonsense. When I tell you, they said we have Joe Weller, right? One of the cast members. His pillow, just cool $5,000.
Yeah,
Or was it
he
10?
came in. I think it was 5K. He came
Yeah,
in with a
five,
pillow
right?
that he needs to
Yes.
sleep with. Like, it's his pillow. They took it from him and they put it on the shop for 5,000. Angry Ginge brought some darts. They
Yes.
took those and put them on the shop list. But then also they have food items. So the rice and beans, you can get a meal upgrade if you want. £10,000 for a meal upgrade.
And the meal upgrade looked nice.
It was chicken. It was good.
Yeah. But I don't know that it's worth that much money.
Well, the fun part is, even if it's worth it to you, this is the price point you're sharing with everybody else. And when you're in the shop, if you're in the shop alone, you can get some stuff and maybe take it out of there, sneak it out with no one knowing.
Correct.
But more often than not, you're going to show up upstairs and they're going to be like, what did you get from the shop? Because there isn't a live tally of the price pot going down. They do a daily recap at the end of the day of like, here's how much is left.
Yeah. And like, y'all, this is why I had the Fanta, because Castillo, right? I think let's get into iconic, messy ass Castillo.
Oh,
all
so
right.
good.
He is one of us. He is the villain we wanted. He's the villain we have been waiting for. All right. Big Brother, call him. Call Big Brother US, figure it out. I don't care. He needs to be on. I think he might quit in 1 second, but it don't matter. We need him on. Celebrity Big Brother, please. Okay, someone. Because y'all, this Fantas that this man was ordering, he he does not care. He spent, I think, $70,000 on Fanta Lights.
Yeah, by day 3, I'd seen
Yes.
a graphic somewhere. The tally was that he had spent the most at 80,000.
Yes.
So he had spent 80,000, and on the Fantas were like what, $1K to $500. Like there was like
No,
they
the
varied
Fanta
daily. The
Lights
prices varied.
were more expensive than the regular fizzy drinks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so Fanta Light. That's why I think Fanta. First of all, did Fanta do a partnership? Because I didn't see any Fanta like ads.
No.
Fanta need to do something. Because it's
You gotta
crazy.
sponsor this man. He
Yeah.
definitely put Fanta on the map.
So
Some more.
it was pretty expensive. Let's just say that. I think it was multiple thousands for Fanta Light, bruv. And this man is a liar. And he kept framing this man named Specs, who is another person we haven't talked about yet.
Which we will.
Wow, boy. But Specs basically was thirsting for snacks, for sweets to be specific, like literally an addict. Okay.
And he's like 40. Like he's like he's the oldest man in the house.
Yes.
And he was acting like a child. He needed his candy. He's fiending for the candy.
Yeah, the Haribo gummy bears, bro. It was crazy, y'all. So basically everyone is framing Specs while they're doing dirt. That's the funniest part of all of this. And Castillo just kept getting his Fanta Light brev, and then he'd go to the bathroom. Mind you, there is cameras in said bathroom.
Yeah.
Because everyone, a hot shower costs $500 a minute.
Yeah, it started with 100 a minute, I think.
Oh, I don't even remember.
And I think it went up. The prices were like the stock market. They varied on a daily basis. But no, so it is a 2-floor building they're in. Upstairs was the bedroom, the common space with the living room, the dartboard, and like all that stuff. Downstairs was the bathroom, the shop, the gym, and the temptation room, which we'll get into.
Yes.
But he would basically beeline from the shop to the bathroom, sit in a corner, chug these drinks, toss them there, and then go back upstairs. But that isn't even the beginning of his villainy for me. So this temptation room, I think once a day they gave someone a temptation where they would go in. There's 30 minutes on the clock. Here is what we think you would like. You have 30 minutes. You can't leave the room, even if you decline. You got to wait for the timer. But if you do it, we're not going to tell your housemates you did it. That's up to you.
Correct.
So Castillo's our first person to get tempted. He walks in, and there is a full spread of Chinese food. We're talking all the good stuff.
Like a table full of food.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely were like, okay, this isn't like a little meal. It's like a buffet. You can have as much as you want. And his genius is what I loved here. So he reads it. He's like, yep, I'm not telling them, and I'm going to do it. He takes his shirt off, Sasha.
Of hesitation, everyone. I just want to make that known.
No, he was the first person, and he immediately was like, I don't care. He came in, opening confessional, said, I'm here to snake everybody and take the money. I don't care. He really didn't. He took his shirt off, and he put it aside. He was wearing white tee. He's like, I don't want anything put on this shirt, which honestly, so smart. He's just sitting there topless, eating all the Chinese food.
And the thing is, he's like, I can't have the smell on me, right? Because like if the food has a lot of spices, like Indian food too, when I cook Indian food, it just smells like it's fine. It smells good, but it has a smell. So it's aromatic. And he goes, after he devours that, because he used every minute of that 30 minutes, okay? He devours it. He goes to the bathroom, brushes his teeth, makes sure nothing is on him, and then goes back and says, I didn't do anything with the temptation. We're good, y'all. Don't stress. And everyone believes him.
It's because, so he came upstairs, and he goes to the shop, he gets a tea, and then he goes up and he's like, so I said no, but I thought, you know what, consolation prize, I get my tea, brev. 500 pounds, easy. And they're like, oh my God, you're so great. Of course, enjoy your tea. This man just had an after meal tea, like basically dessert.
Digestion.
Yeah, good times were had. The other thing they do, because the prize pot is at $1 million, the shop costs money, the temptations cost $30K a piece if you took them. So he just knocked down $30K. But the other thing that ran the money down quite a bit as well was the challenges.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, the challenges were not giving you money. They're only taking money away if you mess up. and I did love this from them, Sasha, because we watched their content. Every challenge was essentially a challenge they've done on their YouTube channel before, but with these people. So I felt like it was a great way of, if you're getting new viewers and they want to check you out, they know that you've done this before. What was the first challenge? They had to rate each other for different things.
Yes, they had to rate each other first, which again, this is like iconic. Sidemen like rate each other, rate other YouTubers. They get their, I feel like one of their highest views lately have been these rate themselves videos, because they're always so funny. And it was shambles. Mind you, these people have known each other hours at this point, max, and they have to rate each other on looks, on who is smart, who has a high body count or a low body count, and they have to rate each other. These were basically it. There were a few more, and one person would go and do it in the confessional while everyone else would rate themselves, like rate what Castillo thinks about our brain. And for every wrong you get, there's money deducted.
Yeah, which is tough, because if you get like 1, 2, and 3, but you've put them as 2, 3, and 4, you're losing 30K because they're all wrong, even though they're close. And it was fun because, they had stuff like, who do you think this person would say is the best looking, to the worst looking, all the way to who's the most intelligent, and so on. So that was a fun challenge. Also for us, I felt like it was a great way to learn about some of these people, because we don't know them at all. So that was nice.
And what they're thinking, who, all of this helps put target on people's backs, right? Like, who do we think is the richest? Oh, that's going to be an issue. Who do we think is the smartest? Oh, that's going to be an issue. Whatever. Just keep naming it. And of course, like these are content creators, so they know how to milk that. Oh, you thought I was the ugliest? That's crazy, blah, blah, blah. And they're just going back and forth, back and forth. It was very fun for me, because I just feel like it causes animosity. And I love mess because of that.
Same.
Yes.
Same.
And then we get to the iconic try not to move challenge. And so I just feel like for mess, I have to share with you all the OG try not to move challenge.
Oh no, I realize what you're about to say.
Yes.
Go on.
Everyone, okay, it's fine. Like the Sidemen did this, right? Where your hands have to stay on a buzzer, and weird things happen. Rats come. Like this guy, I think, in the Sidemen one, they fart in your face. This guy burps, like all kinds of just boy weird things, I want to say. And then the end, there's only 2 people left, and the Sidemen are like, listen, we need to wrap up the shoot. There's 7 of them, right? Only 2 of the Sidemen are left in the OG video. KSI pees on them.
So he gets on the table and he not on them directly, but he pees on the table and it's splashing onto their hands, essentially.
Nah, he pees on their hand. Please, you're being nice. Like the goal was to get it on them.
I feel like the way you said it implied that it was like directly in their face.
Okay, no. Okay, sorry. Thank you. That's fine. You
just try to clarify. But yeah, like they've done this before. And if you think that, so what are they doing to tempt them to not move their hands? This is what they ended with for their own Sidemen shoot. Obviously, they don't do this here on this show.
Because that's terrible.
But low-key, I would never make it to the finals to even have that worry be the thing. They brought out snakes. They brought out rats.
I can do snakes. Rat is where I think, unfortunately, I would go. And the joke is,
I can do neither.
These content creators, bless their hearts, right? They'd be a little bit slow. But Manrika, again, our queen, has the rat on, right? 30 seconds, I think, like a good amount of time. She braved it. She's like, no, I'm not I'm not a bitch. I'm gonna do this. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. She finishes and she's so happy. Like, yes, I did it, and raises her hands.
After she went through it.
And that was the worst one, I think.
Yeah.
So
what I did love is I felt like throughout the season, no one gave anybody crap for losing money in a challenge. I think everyone understood that it's a thing that can happen. It's a hazard. So no one gave anyone shade here for that. Like we said, there were snakes. There was did they bring the random guy to eat very loudly, chew next to them?
Yes, I would actually die.
Yeah, that was brutal. It was a bearded man who was he eating yogurt? It was
yogurt and pasta.
Yeah, and just making the smacking noises and the yogurt's all over the face. just a horror, sight of horror, honestly.
Just close your eyes and act like you can't
Yeah.
hear it. I don't know how, because for me, I do have that, like, I don't know, it's like a brain thing where my brain gets mega activated if I hear like chewing noises. So it's just, oh my god. But I could do the snake. I think I've shared this before on the podcast, but I have gone to, unfortunately, Joe Exotics, his park, his zoo. And they do like put like part of the experience is like the little tiger liger cubs come play with you, and then they put snakes on you.
When did you go?
Oh, like when I was in college.
You went before it was cool.
Yeah, before people knew. Well, we knew in Oklahoma, but yeah, the world did not know about this man.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I've been there, and so that's why I was like, I know I'd be okay with the snakes, because we didn't know that this big ass the banana, is it banana, the yellow one, yeah, was about to get put on us, and they put like 3 at a time on our backs, and it was like 4 of us, my friends. So all
Oh
I'm
my
saying is
god.
I could do the snakes, but nothing else. If there was a dog, Booyah, I'm out. I'm
A
so scared of
dog?
dogs. I'm so scared of dogs.
What's any size dog
Yes,
or
yes. And no, actually, especially the little ones.
I'm fine with dogs, but when they start like growling at me, that's when I'm like not okay. And I've run away from a dog before.
That's how I got bit.
Yeah, we had a this is like after the year after university, I moved into this apartment with my buddies
Yeah.
and I used to work overnight shifts. So I would walk home from work at like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. And we had a neighbor who did
Mhm.
not leave her dogs on a leash ever. And we shared like a back because our apartment was we had to go to the back of the
Yeah.
building and it was a unit in the basement and they had a apartment next to us. So we shared the
Oh,
same backyard
wow.
area. And she would keep her dogs off the leash, which is fine. I don't
Yeah.
care. But then I remember one of the first interactions we had with them, one of their dogs was coming towards us and my friend went to like interact and she was like,
Mhm.
they're not friendly. And I was like, okay, that's cool, but then why are we sharing the space right now?
Oh
Because
my
don't tell me
god.
that. And like,
Usually people will be like, "They don't bite. It's okay." And
oh
then they bite.
yeah. And then this is at a time where I was a smoker. So
Yes.
going outside to smoke was like a health hazard on a different level for me. It wasn't the smoking I was worried about. It was being in the presence of a dog. But anyway, so I was walking home one night. One day from
Yeah.
work, and this is like fresh off like an 8-hour shift, minimal sleep. I'm ready. I think I was
Mhm.
watching Game of Thrones at the time. I was like binging it. So I was like, I'm gonna go watch some Game of Thrones.
Right.
And I get to where our to the back area to get to the back, and this dog is outside and it makes eye contact with me and starts following me,
No,
like
bye.
charging. I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever ran as fast in my life. I ran back out. I went back up the street and like I made it easily like 100 meters before I look back and the woman is like getting her dog to come back.
See?
And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like so for me, that's put a lot of fear in me. So now when I'm around a dog, I'm like, let's not make eye contact
Yeah,
because I can't
literally.
handle it. But I think I'd be fine with a dog here, especially knowing there's rats and snakes on the horizon.
Yeah. I think the rat, it would, there's no way. Like, it's just I can't do it.
There's
Okay.
not a lot of animals that I'd be like, yep, I'm just chilling with my hands here. A bird, I'd be like, no, absolutely
Oh,
not. I think
interesting.
I
I think
think
I could do a
most
bird.
insects, I don't think I'd want
Yeah, I'm fine with spiders. I'd be good. That tarantula is chill.
that.
Again, shout
Like,
out Joe Exotic Tour, because I actually held all these things.
no, only I'm allowed to be hairy, not you, spider. Get out of
You
here. Creepy.
I'm dead. Okay. But yeah, it was really fun to try not to move. But of course, most people get out, and the winners get a meal upgrade, which is another product placement. The sides of food.
Well, no,
Which,
no, no. Was it that one? So there was another one where
oh no,
Leah,
they
no,
get
no,
no.
no. So
Yeah,
Leah got
sorry.
to get whatever she
Yes,
wants, and
yes,
she said, no, boo.
Nobu. E- As again, I have been to 2 different Nobus. As a vegetarian, not worth it. Do not go. But no, they'd be wild in that Nobu, because the portion
I
size is smaller than my nose.
Yeah, I would like to go, but my bank account be like, no, boo.
You're done. it's just the point is like you could justify spending money if it's good food. If it's good food. But
So
you're gonna sit here and you have to buy 7 tacos for maybe half an app's
see,
worth.
that's the thing. Like good food, quality wise, yes, please. But low key, portion matters to me as well.
Yes.
Because for a price to quality ratio, there you can't feed me anything that's like a tiny portion, but is the best thing in the world. I would rather get something that's decent
Correct.
and is good portion
And
for
the
the
mom
price.
and pop shops anyway got that bomb food, okay?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, y'all, this is not like I hate Nobu podcast, but like Nobu is doing too damn much. That's all I'm saying. The one in Malibu, my friend, when she went, did see LeBron and Anthony, like, yeah, Anthony, you know, all the Lakers basically was there. So that's nice. But no, like it's just not worth the money.
But if it's on someone else's dime and they're getting me whatever I want, run up the check. Like
Yes.
get me 8 tacos from Nobu. Why not?
And Ginge didn't even know what the hell Nobu was. Bless his heart.
Relatable content. I
Bless
mean,
his heart.
this kid, he is currently the biggest streamer in the UK. I'm become familiar with Ginger's work because of his collaborations with the Sidemen.
Yeah, same.
He kind of got a start on FIFA. Obviously, FIFA was like the big
yep.
thing for him. But then he got into GTA RP, similar to how Josh from the Sidemen, because Josh from the Sidemen was the biggest UK streamer in 2022 because he was on top of the GTA RP scene. But then Ginge came into No Pixel, which is the biggest server, most popular server for streamers, and got kicked out of that server for using horrible language and being toxic. His community, his chat is very much the toxic side, shall we say. But when I see him interacting with the boys and stuff, he's fine. But his content solo, I can't stomach too much of. But he was very pleasant here. But he is your quintessential streamer who kind of doesn't know much else about anything except for streaming. And that's kind of his life. Also,
and he's young.
Yeah, he's like 22 or something. He's like a kid.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he got out of the do not remove your hands challenge because KSI came out with a Manchester City top and tried to put a Manchester City kit on him. And he said, no, he's a United fan like myself. So I respected him for it. But I think that would have been fine. But also, I'm not British. And I feel like in the UK, they take it a lot more serious.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think if someone brought a University of Texas jersey.
I'd be like, no.
Like, I don't know. I think I would think about it, but I'd be like, you know what? Fine. And I'd just be shit talking them the whole time.
I'm going to get you a jersey with your name on the back for your birthday.
Don't waste money. I'll give it to Asia.
It will have your name on the back.
It's fine.
She'll wear it. She'll support me.
That's fine. Listen, no, I would just be like, call me when you have 7 national championships. Oh, too bad your stadium is, you know, named after an OU football player. There's ways to do it, guys. Okay. You just got to have your hate ready to go.
You're prepared.
Yeah, period. Okay. You won't catch me slipping unless there's a rat. I'm no rat czar. All right. Then we also get Silent Library, which was fun, very basic, like just like Silent Library. I felt that the Sidemen did a little bit of cooking here. And they just, because Toby, one of the Sidemen, was hosting, and he just, I feel like, was reading off the card who was supposed to be loud. And in the edit, it didn't seem like Chloe from Love Island was being that loud in those certain moments. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, Silent Library is honestly one of the ones I don't care for the most. Because it really depends on what the challenge is. Also, is this where they had AJ Tracy co-host with him? And I was like, why are you here? Also, I barely remember him being there because he didn't really impact the show all that much.
He said not one word.
I mean, he kept silent, which was the plan.
Yeah.
That was an interesting challenge. But I think the one that was the most intriguing to me was the Night Watch challenge.
Yes.
Which it was kind of like a merge of Lost and like a pressure cooker type situation where every amount of increments they had to put the code in the computer. The computer was downstairs, but then they had shift changes. So like it would say, all right, Phantom, your job is done. Go get Manrika. And the timer's going down. There's a minute. So he has to go yell, get Manrika down there to press the pin in. And they had temptations in there to distract them, which was great too.
Yes. So and you could do the temptation, you don't lose money. It's not like the shop or the temptation room.
You only lose if you mess up you don't get the buzzer in
and
on
you
time.
only get 4 minutes. Humans are not necessarily good at counting down time in their head.
I think everyone thinks they're better than they are.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Except this one jet lag episode we just watched where this guy got it literally on the dot. And I think because he was walking and he counted how many steps per minute he can do.
Yeah.
So regardless of that, humans not good, especially when you're getting a massage. There's no way you can count 4 minutes because if you're getting a good massage, time goes by so quick. So we had a lot of alarms go off. And then, of course, our favorite Castillo and Specs, they both end up pressing a button. Just like in Big Brother, you shouldn't press the button, but you press the button.
Yeah, it said do not press. They discussed it, and then ultimately they were like, this could be money given to us directly. Let's just do it.
Yes.
Boom, they lose 20K right then and there.
I love that for us because what the hell are y'all doing? And they lie.
Of course.
And this causes some drama because Castillo says, well, I lied, but it's because we were getting the money. And Speck said, hey, wait a damn minute. And this causes a lot of drama because, mind you, at this point, we've only voted out 2 people.
Yeah, it's a cast of 10 people, and you get to the finale with 5 people. So you don't lose, and we really lost 2 people. We went to the finale maybe with 7 people, and we lost 2 people right at the beginning.
Yep.
And then they went to the final challenge. So there weren't a lot of vote out moments, which meant that you kind of got to know this cast really well.
Yeah. And the people that went out were Joe, which was the first person gone. And that's because he was framed by Castillo. And that was nuts. Because Castillo took the temptation. And Joe gets the blame because Phantom and all the boys end up ordering a Dyson, like the whole thing. And it was very expensive. I think it was like 30K, right? Or something like that.
They bought it just to cause mayhem for no reason.
And the girls were like, none of us got this because we wouldn't do it. And Nife is a woman. So Nife was like, bro, this doesn't even work for my hair. Like, obviously I didn't order it. So it's very funny. The girls pretty much immediately note that it's one of the boys is just which one. Joe kind of gets somehow caught in the crosshair. Him and Manrika have a not so great argument. Manrika was dead ass wrong.
So let's talk about the argument here, because also the first 2 boots, I think, is the reason why people wanted to push for a public vote moving forward, because obviously we're talking about how much chaos is being caused. Out of these 10 people, there's 3 people that are not really spending money, and they were the first 2 boots. One of them goes out in the final 7. So people were not happy about that, but we'll get back to that in a second. So Manrika versus Joe, the really the start of the drama online about all this. They were all sitting around in the living room just having a natural conversation. And this would be the second time Joe brings up, like, I wonder, what if they put in the shop, like, you get to FaceTime somebody, or the temptation you get to FaceTime like a special person. And this one, everyone's like, well, you brought this up before. Are you seeing somebody? He's like, yeah, what about it? Like, oh, whatever. And Manrika in the middle of all this goes, she's getting her esophagus bruised by some other guy while you're in here, which I was like, hold up. Like,
flag on the play.
I was like, listen, my best friend making a comment like this, I'd be like, you are shady for this one. I'm going to laugh. But if I don't really know y'all, it's going to hit bad. Especially when I'm not doing any antagonizing or roasting for that matter.
Dead ass wrong. She is so bad for saying that. I think at this point they had ordered a good amount of Prosecco's.
On the low, sneakily.
Very deal. Her and Chloe did. So I think there was some alcohol involved. Either way, not cool. And then when Joe is in the confessional talking about it, Manrika overhears it and she's pissed. And she's like, how dare he?
Yeah.
And this is why I love watching these shows. I want hypocrites.
Hypocrites and stupid drama. Because the reality is, that's probably not a thing that's happening. But in this environment, you're going to take offense to that. You're going to feel slighted because you don't know this person like that. And also, it was very clear Manrika's personality had already been rubbing Joe the wrong way, because she's she's very I was about to say loud, but I don't think that's the word I want to describe. She's very vocal and
Blunt. Yeah.
also blunt, but also very much in conversations, because some of these people were a lot more quiet than others. I feel like Manrika had no problem ad-libbing in any conversation she was in, which obviously Joe took as like, you're looking for attention, and the joke, he felt like, oh, you're looking for your moment, congratulations, you got your moment. But for me, Sasha, the best part of this was when Manrika goes to apologize, because this was the most non-apology apology I've ever seen. We're talking about, she literally said, I'm sorry you couldn't take banter. I didn't know you can't take banter, and like, maybe this isn't your type of thing. You're not into jokes. And he's like, no, I am. This just wasn't a joke to me. This was ridiculous.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
Who are you? Mind you, I get 3 days at this point. They've known each other. Just so out of pocket. She is wild. But the thing is, for all the, drama and hate she gets, social game on point. Because not one vote was cast against her.
Let's talk about it, because that's the biggest thing to me, is that people be like, this person deserved to win. I'm sorry, they got votes. If you're, and this is stupid, because I'm about to say the word strategy, so bear with me here, because it doesn't belong here. But if you spend some money and you're in the middle of the group, that's where you're most likely to benefit, because either the big spenders that are caught are going to get votes, or the people that are not letting us have fun because they're getting mad every time we spend any money. Exactly. So ride the middle, but also, who cares? Truly, who cares? Let them do what they want. Let the drama be there. Let them be entertaining. That's what I'm here for. Because, so Joe goes out first, and I was kind of sad for him, because I was like, I feel like we were getting to see a different side of him than what we've kind of experienced in the years past. I was like, I'm happy to see that, but he went. Low key, I was okay with Leah leaving.
Yeah,
I was very okay with Leah leaving.
I liked her. I think she seems very cool, but we're messy people. We want mess.
Yeah.
And I think these people are content creators. So I just feel that when you're content creators, you know what's working and what isn't. I'm sure they know when the cameras are pointed at them, because we've heard from cast of Big Brother, when they know that, oh, the camera's on me.
Yeah.
So I know that, I'm getting looked at more than others. So they were like, Leah got to go. She's giving nothing.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like with Leah, I thought she was sweet. She was very nice. I felt like anytime she approached anyone, it was with nothing but kindness. But also, when we were getting the votes, people were very clear that, yeah, she just doesn't really talk to me all that much. So Leah was already kind of in a shell, but also was adding a layer, because she was so apprehensive about people spending money and was so against spending a nickel herself, that people were like, well, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of like if I'm trying to think of a good analogy. I'll get there. It's kind of like, okay, let me put it this way, Sasha. You come home from work and you pick yourself up the meal you want most from a takeout spot. You don't get your partner, your husband, you don't get him anything. It's like, now you have to sit next to him and eat it. I don't want to do that. I'm eating this alone, because I don't want you to look at my food, and I don't want to feel guilty for not getting you something. 100%. It's the similar energy where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to really talk to Leah if she's going to feel awkward about me spending money, but then I'm going to enjoy the thing next to her. I feel like that, and also she clearly was closer to Nife. They both bonded about not spending money. So I understand the conversation, because people online were mad, because they're like, it's messed up that the people who actually are trying the challenge are going home. And I'm like, listen, I think the move is to be entertaining, have fun, do what comes naturally, and going above and beyond to not spend, especially when there's less of you not spending. This is a whole different conversation if of the 10 people, 7 of them were zero spenders and 3 of them were spending. Because then they're going to get voted out. But when there's 7 people willing to spend and there's 3 of you not willing to spend, I'm sorry, you're outnumbered. You're going to go home.
You have to go with the majority. That's part of the strategy. It doesn't matter if, unfortunately, they're going balls to the wall. These people do not care. And that's how folks keep getting voted out. They're like, we want to have fun. You're not having fun.
Yeah.
Bye.
Exactly. Goodbye. You're gone now. But the voting was so fun to me, because so for the Leah vote out, we actually get a tie vote, Sasha. And the Sidemen, they do different weekly shows where it's a competition or there's a prize money at the end. If there's a tie, they always break it in arguably the least imaginative way possible with a game of rock, paper, scissors. They do the exact same thing here. And I would say it wasn't dramatic, but we had a tie 3 times before we got a rock, paper, scissors result that worked out.
Nuts. And usually I've just read this. I don't know if this is always true. They say that men are most likely to throw a rock first. So you should
Okay.
try to counteract that and always like throw paper. But I don't know again if that's true or not. Because I've knowing that info, I try to look now at rock, paper, scissors, and it's not always true.
It's funny. I feel like when I do rock, paper, scissors, I always assume that my opponent's going to go scissor first. And that
See, and then you're more
causes,
likely.
yeah, which then confirms the thing you just said, which is like, that's weird.
Yeah. So that's what people say, that like men are more likely to throw rocks.
Me think
Yeah.
rock is strongest. Yeah. Literally.
Must be some primitive thing in your head.
Probably. Yeah, I was gonna say something now, but I forget. Oh,
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
yeah. So rock, paper, scissors ends up Leah ends up leaving. Castillo was the other one on the chopping block there. But what I will say, the only thing against the Sidemen here is that when they did their season preview in that first episode, there were scenes with Castillo in it that had not happened yet. So I knew who was going home, because they tried to cliffhanger us with these eliminations. And very quickly, people online were like, well, we know that there's a scene where Joe isn't in it, but this person is. So it's Joe leaving. And, oh, Leah's not here when Castillo has the fight about the shower. So I was like, okay, yeah. So then that means that they're gone. So the cliffhangers didn't mean much, but I was just upset that the show ended, because that 1 hour was so much fun. I basically made it a part of my daily routine. I would go for a walk, throw it on, and just go for my walk and watch it, get a coffee. And by the time I get home, the show episode was over. So I was just bummed that it was over, really.
Yeah, and you and I were like texting about it. We were like, oh, but this is so silly. Oh, this is so fun. Like, it really felt like a great watch, and we'd recommend everyone to watch it because of just how silly everything was. And again, the eliminations don't really matter, I promise. Like, even though we've spoiled you on it.
Right. Even if you're like, wait, I know this person's going to leave, it's 7 episodes. It's like an hour a piece. It's just a fun time had by all. Just give it a chance. And I will say, my biggest take that I had, and I've talked about this on my stream before, with regards to Celebrity Big Brother. I have said that don't bring celebrities in, bring YouTubers in.
Correct.
Bring these content creators in, because obviously people's worry is, well, they're only going to be there for a following. I would argue not, because they already have the following. The ones you see on Big Brother that are trying to get a following are the ones with the baby following. Like, they have a cool 50K on TikTok. We're talking YouTubers with millions of dollars who have a lot of money already and are competitive and are willing to play the game to have some fun and aren't going to take any of it super personally.
So
I think
Big
that's
Boss
the key.
India does this, and they have now started bringing in 10 million plus YouTubers.
There we go.
And the views have been out of control because of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for viewership because people are going to be wanting to watch the content creators they like. Correct. And because these content creators already have the fan base, the money, they're going to be going in trying to do their best to win or have fun. And 9 times out of 10, there's not going to be this bad blood after the fact. Now, I haven't deep dived into the postseason for Inside, but I'm willing to bet that most of these people are just chill with each other and are fine.
Yeah, they have to be. And Castillo, again, I'm obsessed. He's so crazy. Castillo, of course, was like in hate with every single one of these people, because at one point they're ordering carrots, which are like 500 pounds.
No, the carrots were the cheap ones. They were like 20 bucks a piece. That's why they wanted it.
Yeah, that's why they 500. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's why they wanted them so bad out of nowhere.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Carrots were cheap. They're getting carrots and they're putting it in the Ginger's bed. Terrible.
Yeah, Angry Ginge was supposed to get pranked with carrots in his bed, but Phantom's dumbass, unfortunately, put the carrot in Castillo's bed.
Spam! So then they elevated.
Oh, the spam. That wasn't even the carrot. Yeah.
Yes. So it goes up to spam. And do you believe it was by mistake? Because Phantom says it's by mistake.
This is Phantom. It could be a lie.
You guys tell me, okay?
Yeah.
Tell me. But the point is, I don't care, because it creates the mess and the drama. So, of course, Phantom puts the spam in Castillo's bed. Castillo opens it. Mind you, this is canned. The spam ain't open. Okay, don't worry. There's no smell, nothing. Castillo opens the bed and he said, "Who did this? Who has set my ass up?" And he said, "Bet I'm not mad." Because mind y'all, Castillo has been voted out, and the Sidemen said, "Psych, this is a fake elimination." And it is a unanimous Castillo elimination. So Castillo's already on a mission.
He already knows he's on his way out.
And so he said, "I'm going to spend all the money." Again, this is what we want from our contestants. We want them to go scorched earth before they leave. Don't just be like, "Oh, we're besties. I don't care. You guys should still win." Shut up. Okay. So Castillo is already on a mission. He's, got his Fanta Light Brev. All of this stuff, money is gone. Now he said, "Bet you guys did this to me. This is targeted." He turns on the water, the hot water. Y'all, he is not even standing under it. He stands in a towel on the side and he's just letting it run.
He ran up 42,000 pounds worth of shower.
Yup.
Yeah. He was not playing around. And you had different amount of people coming in begging him to stop. He's like, "Why are you doing this with me? I'm not friends with you like that. I don't do that. I don't take these jokes. I'm not about this life. You don't know me like that. Don't do this." Blah, 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 blah. Phantom comes in, says, "I'm sorry. This was supposed to be for Ginge. I messed up the beds." And even Castillo was like, "No, it wasn't. You're making you're taking the joke. You're taking the piss." He's like, "What do you mean I'm taking the piss? I'm being honest," or whatever. A whole drama. He comes into the bedroom with his towel on, and people are telling him off for this. He starts retaliating. "Stop crying." Chloe's like, "Who's crying? I'm not crying." Da 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 da. Drama out the wazoo. And again, I can't stress this enough. The next day, everyone was fine.
Yes.
They were fine.
Not one single F was given, y'all. It is so funny because you could tell they were in hell, especially Nefe, who has not spent any money, is ready to end it all.
No, I'm sorry. Again, when your two people that you were closest with and have spent the least amount of money have gone, start racking up a check. Start getting get you a Fanta Light Brev. Get you a assist token.
Please, an assist token, Brev. Something, all right? It is hilarious because it's not happening. And Castillo could not give a shit. And he said, who did it? They have to come say sorry to me first. Phantom comes, say sorry. And he's like, "Great, I'm going to still keep going for a little bit more and then I'll come out." I love him. And he said, "I'm not friends with none of them. I don't care."
Oh, Castillo was once he saw that the votes were on him, I feel like his energy changed a little because he kept being like, "Well, I'm not friends with any of you, so we're not really going to talk after this."
We all know when someone says they don't care, that equals they care very much.
Yeah. I would say at least slightly.
It was so good, y'all. So yeah, that, and then Castillo, of course, eventually now it's finale day. 2 people need to get eliminated. Castillo and Nefe get the most votes. There could have been some funny thing that we can make happen where, Nefe doesn't get the votes if the girlies stick together. I don't know, but it don't matter. I thought Specs could have been the next, like Castillo and Specs.
You want to talk social games, Sasha? Specs was the most publicly spending the most money in front of people.
Yes.
They love this man. He was I think he was a big sense of comic relief for them in the house.
Agreed.
And so they fully backed him. They were very, very chill with him because there were many moments where I thought, okay, so surely Specs is leaving now, but he went nowhere. Also, we didn't talk about this, but so we had 2 people voted out. Then we had an instant elimination.
Yes.
Because Angry Ginge, the aforementioned fan of Manchester United, goes into the shop and they've put up a ticket to the FA Cup final, which was that day. And it was Manchester City versus Manchester United. Very much Manchester United was the underdog in this. Unlikely to win. We finished the season 8th. Manchester City was first. They won the Premier League. So most people, I feel like, might even be like, "Yeah, you know what? I might win the money, so I'm not going to go. We're probably not going to win." But again, Ginge is a loyal United fan. He took the ticket. He left the house. He got to watch Manchester United beat Manchester City. live, which is incredible. So it worked out for him
that
perfectly.
ticket was so good. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
probably wasn't some, like, cheapo depot ticket.
No, they probably blessed him up. There's probably good food. Like, again, he's
Yes.
walking out to like freedom. So yeah, he left and he couldn't say goodbye to people. And then Specs was very sad about it because they had formed a bond. Can we talk about Specs? What was the thing he did? Was it the temptation where
Yes.
he lies
doesn't
about it
take
to them?
it, but he just had food too, like snacks, and he opens it, snacks and he could watch the end of the game. And Ginge like had recorded a voiceover for Specs,
Mhm.
but Specs doesn't do it to everyone's surprise. But he comes back and he says, "Guys, I'm so sad. Things are crazy, blah blah blah." And everyone's like, "Oh, it was your kids, probably. You know, you should totally take the temptation." He said, "No, I'm so sad because my parents that were dead." And everyone's like, "Huh?" And he goes, "They were, they came back. They weren't
Yeah.
dead after all."
He milked it. Like I saw a clip where the Sidemen were talking about it that he literally was silent for 10 minutes.
Oh my.
Building up the drama only to then do that and they died laughing. Again, it was stuff like that that he did that I think really brought him into like everyone's like warm moments in the house.
Mhm.
But we get to this final five, and the final five
Yes.
consists of Specs, Phantom, Chloe, Manrika, and someone who we've literally not talked about this entire time in Liv, aka Olivia, who was on Made in Chelsea.
Yeah. Who sells lube?
Yeah. The girls were very much a trio. Like these three
Yes.
girls getting here, like Chloe and Manrika are the closest to, with Olivia as pretty much a part of the group because they were the three girls that didn't mind spending money. Also kind of bonded over some of the drama that went on in the house and kind of connected basically from the jump. And they liked Phantom and they liked Specs, two of the funnier guys in the house, good time vibes in the house. But this is where the challenge mattered because if you watch Squid Game, the Netflix competitive show, not the Korean, like the actual show, but the reality TV one, they did the same challenge from Squid Game where they had to sit blindfolded. One person got picked. They had to select someone. That person takes their blindfold off and has to figure out who chose to take them out. And if they get it right, the person that had picked them goes home. If they get it wrong, they go home. And I wish there was more drama here, Sasha, because it was so clear cut.
God, it's so ridiculous because I was sad that Nife went home. I was like, the girlies could all stuck together and then figured it out. And for Olivia, I'm like, girl, you spent crazy money on them snacks, lied to everyone, which was really funny, and blamed it on everyone but yourself. And then you didn't even try. I feel so it was very funny, but yes, they all had to point at each other, and it was curtains for the boys. And I must say, Vic, who is a Sideman, I was like, you're doing too damn much. Because he's like, the females, they're all sticking together. Shut up, Vic.
Well, I think we're just doing some commentary. I didn't think he meant anything malicious about it.
No, but the way he was like, the females.
Well, I think what happened was I think they were hoping for some drama here with this challenge. And the way they ended up picking who goes first was random draw. Like they had KSI pick a name out. He picked out Specs. So Specs had to go first. And Specs picks Olivia, who immediately says, I think it's Specs. She claims that Specs made it seem like it wasn't him. So she picked him because he's safe. I was like, stop it.
She wanted to vote herself out.
Right. Which I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't buy it for a minute. Specs leaves. Then Ethan picks the next card. And all I'm thinking is for the plot, for the drama, don't pick Phantom. Right.
Yeah.
I was like, pick anybody else but Phantom because I still felt like Phantom's going to get chosen and he has to decide who picked him. And I was curious to see if he could pull it off. But no, Phantom's card gets picked. He selects, I think, Chloe, who immediately says it's Phantom. Phantom goes. Then Olivia has to make a pick. I think she picks Manrika, or was it Chloe? But Chloe and Manrika were never going to pick each other here. So Olivia goes home, and we're down to the final two in Chloe and Manrika, which is funny because they're two of the people, the big portion of the audience was rooting against pretty much from episode 2. So I was in stitches. And I think to add to the kind of anticlimactic end, they were going to do a split or steal, which they've done on the
Yes.
Sidemen channel before.
Yes.
And I knew they were going to split. I was like, these two are not going
That's
to backstab
crazy.
each other.
Maybe I'm tripping because I thought Chloe would not. I know Manrika
Anybody
was
else,
splitting.
she
Okay,
would have done
fine.
it. But she had made it very clear to from where I was standing that because they kept also talking about how if there's anyone that deserves this money, it's Manrika. I think
Yes.
Manrika's has told them something that really
She
made
said
them
she
feel like,
wanted to do it for her down payment for her house.
yeah, for her family. So
Mhm.
it was like, okay, you're not taking money from your best mate in the house at this point. You're just not. But if she
Oh
was
my
ahead,
gosh.
she was next to Castillo, Liv,
Oh,
literally
that would have been
anybody else, she
so
was
good
pulling the
because they both
steal.
steal,
Yeah,
and then no one gets the money, which I think no one getting the money would have been the most
funniest
apt
end.
ending
Oh,
for
it would have
how
been
they've been
so
spending
funny
money.
because then you have zero regrets over the money you spent at that
Yep,
point. You're like,
because then you're
no
like, "Cool."
money, and I got to have a good weekend, easy. I will say though, it is funny. So the prize pot comes down to about 150,000 pounds
Yes,
from
yes.
a million. The split causes them each to get 75K. And it's funny to me that Manrika almost made the entire purse of the circle season that she didn't win. Because that was what 100K for the win, right?
Yes, shout out to my girl. I was like, not Manrika letting a white blonde lady get her again.
She didn't. She split the money. Although she could have stolen had double. That would have been nuts.
Yes.
You want her to
I
be a
think
villain? That would have pushed it over the edge
I
for a
think
lot of
you
people.
steal the money and then just give your bestie the like a little bit at the end. But like
Mm.
but then again, I don't know because if I'm playing against Kirsten, I think I'm splitting.
If you're
If I'm
playing
playing
against
against
me,
you, yeah, I think I would split. I don't think, but I think you would steal.
I wouldn't. See, I wouldn't, and then you would steal, and then you'd be like, "I thought you were gonna steal, so I did it." And I'd be
No,
like,
I would split with you. There's no way.
okay.
But I would think about it. Don't
All
get
right,
me
someone,
wrong.
someone give us 150K so we can figure this out. Someone
Yeah.
donate this money so we can split or
Like,
steal.
I for sure would think about it. I'd be like, Pooya would get it. Game's the game, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, but it's not worth the thing. There definitely may be some people I would steal from and then
It's,
give them a little bit at
I
the
mean,
end.
if it's like a lot of money, right? If it's a lot of money, I would feel like it is the money's not worth the
Yeah,
awkwardness after at
correct.
all. Unless I'm doing split or steal with Omer, I will take all his money without thinking twice. Either I get all of it or we each get zero and my life stays the same.
I would be fine. If it's someone like I don't enjoy that has been pissing me off in the house,
Mm.
we both lose. Fine. What do
Yeah.
I care?
I mean, again, especially if I've been spending some money having a prosecco here and there, I don't care.
Yes.
I
Oh,
came
I'm
in with
doing
zero
hot
money.
showers. There's no way.
I feel like I would do hot showers because I would do a quick shower. Like I would do like a
I will
4-minute
wash
shower.
my hair quickly. I mean,
Yeah, easy.
thankfully, I don't need to wash my hair as often anyway, so I'd be fine.
Yeah, it would be again small price to pay for that little bit of comfort. Also, to be clear, I do enjoy Omer. He's nice. No one think otherwise. Okay, cool.
That
But
is so
yeah,
funny.
this was so much fun. I absolutely loved
good.
it. I think they've gotten very good reviews from people.
Yes.
They're already talking about a season 2. So I really do think a season 2 will happen. I don't know when, but I think it'll be there.
Yeah.
And when it happens, we will be there for sure.
Correct. We'll be there. And listen, I hope they get a little bit more Americans or maybe some reality people we know. I think that's just what made it extra funny. Because Manrika winning, when I tell you, I watched that last episode and I couldn't stop laughing because I was like, all these haters. Oh no.
Well, that's the thing. It's funny to me because when I've seen them tweet out, like, who would you like to see for season 2? A lot of them are putting out names of people that have already worked with them. And I think one of the things that really, really helped this was that, you know, for example, I know Joe Weller and Ginge know each other to some extent, but they're not buddies like that.
Correct.
And I feel like that was the key because you want these people to be pissed. You put 4 friends in there that are just going to vote together no matter what.
And it's boring. There's only 10 people.
Yeah, exactly. Make it 12 people and just keep doing because I think they did a great job with variety casting of like people kind of knew of each other but not really know each other. That was good. I feel like I think they know that getting drama from people that people are rooting against, I think they're not going to shy away from doing that. They're not going to get like 10 like very nice, kind people because that's not the game. That doesn't
us, but we don't have followings.
Yeah.
Well, Pooya does.
I mean,
Pooya
compare
has
these people.
enough. Come on.
Compare these people. No boo. I got nothing.
Pooya will bring us all. Don't worry, everyone.
Ugh, imagine that'd be
We
so much
got Pooya's back. Okay, cast Pooya,
fun.
please.
The dozens of us.
How dare you? First of all, there's thousands.
Oh, thank you.
We will be there. Okay, Sidemen, please help us out. And also, I must say there was last thing. There was a showmance between Nife and Phantom.
Well, it's funny because it was going that way. She was like, I'm into, his build is kind of my vibe. And they were doing a little dancing. And then out of nowhere, Phantom tells one of the guys, like, I have something back home. So it's like once everyone started shipping them, he's like, no, actually, I can't. No, please don't make these jokes. I was like, Phantom, you drove in. You did it first.
And then Niffy goes, I got the ick when I see him because Phantom, number one spender of nonsense. So he ends up getting flippers.
Yeah, he bought every gimmick item that they didn't need. He bought flippers. He bought a beach ball.
Yeah, a baby and a pram. Everything, okay? And she goes, that's an ick. Seeing him running with them flippers, trying to put the button, instant ick. And Phantom did not like that either. So it ended very funny. But y'all, Nife got game. Because Nife, a professional dancer. Okay, that's what she's known for. That's her job, right? TikTok dancer has been asking Phantom, oh, you're Dominican. Do you know how to salsa dance? Can you teach me?
And a lot of people clocked it too.
So good. And everyone's calling her out. And she's like, what do you mean? He's Dominican. We loved it. Okay, the show had everything.
Which Phantom's Temptation also did involve food, Dominican food, and GTA 5. So
and he gave in.
He gave an easy.
But he didn't even play. I just feel like he just did it. It was silly.
The thing is, the GTA part wouldn't have been. He mentioned wasn't appealing to him because he plays on 5M, which is a different. It's like a modded version of GTA. This was offline GTA. You playing against the computer, which But I think he did it for the food more so.
Yeah. He got Dominican food, which was good.
And then the big thing that kind of made people online fall in love with Leah was her temptation was that it was her anniversary with her boyfriend, and they brought the boyfriend there. He was sitting in the confessional room, and if she gave in, they could spend their anniversary together, have like a little dinner. She did not give in. She just literally sat in this temptation room, back against the wall, crying in silence for 30 minutes, and then came in and told everyone, I didn't do it. And then everyone's like, voting you out.
They're like, psych, bye. Oh, it was so good. Like, these people were very cutthroat. And this is why I love first seasons of these types of shows, because you've not gamed the system yet. You're, truly going to be yourself. You're going to act a damn fool, and you're going to hate everyone. I love it. I love it. Overall, we definitely recommend you watch it. There's a little bit of British humor, but overall, I think it's very watchable. I'm trying to think if it's, older, like PG. I think PG-13, but that's it.
Yeah, it's YouTube, so they don't censor the cussing, right? So
exactly.
So it's uncensored. You can enjoy it. Again, it's YouTube, so you just throw it on while doing something else. Once you watch the first episode and get to know people enough, you'll kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Steven Tries, who's a YouTuber who did the commentary / like the voiceover during, and his humor is always unmatched. He's always a good time.
Yeah, it's because of the Sidemen I end up watching all these damn people now. So I know all these side quests. I go on side quests watching all these random YouTubers. Very funny. So if you're into YouTube, this is a great because I feel like the American YouTubers now, I think they're over it. So because of that, I'm over them. Because their content just is boring.
I feel like
I used to watch at least.
Yeah, I feel like Mr. Beast came along and had these unique ideas with a lot of money, and now every YouTuber is hey guys, so today we've got a slime tank, and everyone's it's like, okay, well, first of all, no. Second of all, why are you yelling at me? Third of all, I'm 30-some. I'm not gonna watch this.
And it's the YouTubers you grew with, like Alex Wasabi. I really enjoyed his content because it felt like, oh, okay, he moved away from kid content to he was just doing daily vlogs and stuff, and now they back. together, him and Roy, and now I feel like the content has gone a little bit to kiddish content again.
I'm
So
like, this is not to
yeah.
say that there's no YouTube content out there
No,
that's still doing
no.
the thing, but I think a lot of the bigger ones in the US have kind of gone
Yeah.
by that direction in a way for me.
Mhm.
Um,
What happened to Fousey Tube? Damn.
that needs a whole mess
Exactly.
magnet of its own. Sheesh.
Literal mess magnet.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, so as someone that was in the YouTube scene, this just feels like really exciting to have like a whole nother like new treasure trove of videos to watch. So yeah, I would recommend their Sidemen Sundays, their travel ones, like Pooya said, I think are my favorite to watch. I think most
Same.
people's favorite to watch, but um it's very funny as like a feminist woman, like per immigrant that I watch this videos because I think my taste in YouTube is very much young boys. Like, it's like
Lad
what
humor,
like
just a
my
bunch of
my
bros bantering.
demographic, I like fall into
Yeah.
those, and so it's very funny to me. But either way, it's just I really like travel, so it's fun, and they got a lot of money while they do it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so would recommend. But that's like uh my advisory of all of these people. But that's why I think I watch a lot of Indian YouTubers now too. But either way, it was a really fun show. So yeah, check it out. And Pooya, I think it's time for an anonymous.
I would love that. I'm very much here for
Let's
this.
do it. So, like I said, this is like the regular mess magnet segment where every week we have a listener submitted mess. So, stick around for it because it's funny. And the tea is we're running low on our anonymous. So, if you're listening, we need you to submit it. Okay? Please do
Yeah.
it. Link in the bio. Just submit it. It's very easy. We will never share who it comes from. Actually, you don't just make up emails. It doesn't matter. But like we don't need to know your name. It's fine.
Right. Make a
Just
dummy
share.
email to send it
Yeah.
from.
Okay. Share anonymous.
I would
Thank
like
you.
to confirm an anonymous, Brev.
Yeah.
Get them.
I would like to confirm it and you send it to me.
Mhm.
So we have now put in the order you need to send it to us.
Yes.
All right, cool. So this anonymous is sorry, this is super long. It really isn't. But we're good, messenger. I used to work at a retail store. I've been gone from the store for over 7 months, and the people in the story all left way before I did. So we're all
Okay.
good. The character names in the stories obviously have been changed. A lot of this info I learned during my first months at the store. So in
Okay.
October 2022, there was an assistant store manager, Mitchell, who was married and is in mid 30s. Allegedly, Mitchell's wife would come in the store and yell at him in front of everyone.
Oof. Okay.
Customers, associates, other managers, etc. It didn't matter.
Anybody could hear it.
Yes, anybody can get it. He started hanging around with the head cashier named Bethany.
Oh,
Bethany
okay.
was 19.
Okay.
Had a boyfriend around her age. Anyway, Mitchell and Bethany would always be spending an absurd amount of time with each other in the store, whether it was in his office, at the registers, or just walking around the
Okay.
store. They would often disappear and no one knew where they were or couldn't be reached on the radio, which is if you're a Below Deck fan, you know that's a problem, for long periods of time.
Okay.
Especially when they were needed to answer questions, because this man's a manager, or help out. They would
Okay.
also hang out outside of work. There's a specific time during work I found Bethany at a customer service having a panic attack, and she had me call Mitchell on her phone, who was not at work that day, to come to the store to comfort her, which he did. Fast forward to January 2023, so October to January, Mitchell was fired for multiple HR complaints about him. He had been with the company for over 9 years.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Some thought it was due to his quote unquote thing with Bethany. A couple of weeks after Mitchell got fired, Bethany was not acting like herself, and many supervisors, managers, and team members had noticed. She would call out sick, leave early, and was not an active team member when she was there, and she rarely ever did beforehand. Like, she never acted like this.
Yeah.
So she ended up having another panic attack one night due to a stressful night from customers. One of the supervisors was called, and he came and got her out of there and took her to the back room. Shortly after that, she put in her 2 weeks notice, but she was told she wasn't needed, so they let her go right away.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
Yikes.
Fast forward again a few weeks later, we heard a rumor that Bethany is pregnant. That would explain why she suddenly got sick. We joked around we don't know who the father was, her boyfriend or Mitchell, due to them, spending so much time together. Per recent social media stalk, it looks like Bethany had her baby with her boyfriend. And
Okay.
it looks like Mitchell is still married to said wife. And to top it all off, we found out Bethany and Mitchell ended their friendship and no longer speak to each other after they left the store.
Huh.
I had so many questions.
Yeah, my mind's a buzz right now. What's the first question you have?
Why did he get fired?
Yeah, why did he get fired? Did it have anything to do with Bethany? It doesn't sound like it. Sounds like it was a whole other thing.
Saying.
Because I will say, like, the whole, like, when you're in a retail store, like, with a team, you kind of end up bonding with your team.
Yes.
And, like, you can have connections with your team and it's fine. But then 9 years of work, multiple HR violations, you went out. I'm assuming Bethany did not put one against you. It doesn't seem like it, at least. So what did you do, you menace? Ick.
And what is it? My second question is, what does a 30-year-old have to talk about with a 19-year-old? This much.
Yeah, what are their, like, do they have, like, common interests? Like,
what are you watching? The Sidemen? I don't understand.
To be fair, if I was at work with a 20-year-old who watched the Sidemen, we'd be talking about the Sidemen. I'd be like, so did you watch the Try Not to Laugh? Good times, huh? Actually, as I said that, I feel like I was trying to, like,
see, look how you sounded.
It felt weird. I sounded like I was trying to, like, bond with them. I didn't like it.
Exactly. You were giving hello youth's energy.
Yeah, you come up to me and ask about it. Yes. I'd be like, oh, I've heard of them. Sidemen? Oh, they're like a YouTube thingy. Yeah, I don't really check that.
The kids told me about it. And the third thing is what happened in the supervisor in the room. That's crazy. Because I thought you were about to say that that's the baby daddy.
Yeah, she was like walked in like because that was a weird addition of information there. Kind of felt like it had nothing to do with anything outside of it was the bridge between Mitchell left. She had a moment. She went to the back with the supervisor, then gave her 2 weeks, and they were like, nah, you can keep the 2 weeks. Just go.
It's so sussy.
I don't know.
Leave you with more questions. Messenger, we just need more answers.
Yeah, we need more answers. Because the thing is, the whole, like, she called for Mitchell at work because she was having a panic attack. I was like, well, Mitchell's, like, her main supervisor, so it would make sense if it's a work thing that he can fix it. But it sounds like it wasn't a work thing.
My tea is, did she go in that bathroom and take a pregnancy test and had a panic attack? And
quite possibly. Quite possibly.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. So speaking of, okay. So you said bathrooms, and I have this memory I need to share. So that's the bagel shop. Okay. Please. There's obviously cameras all over the shop or whatever. There was a camera that's like right in the area where the bathrooms are, not like in the bathroom, but just like the outside of it.
Yeah.
And we had a manager at our store who was like about my age, actually. And he proposed to his girlfriend in front of these bathrooms in like 19? Full work garb. She was younger than him. And she said no. And I have watched the footage.
I know you're lying right now.
Listen, this is not a story I can make up on the fly. I remember because it became a whole conversation, and this was after I had left.
Right.
So I knew people who had been shown the footage and had then showed me the footage. So I was like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. Like,
I need.
And like, how would this is a mistake. You made a mistake. The funny thing is, I literally went back into that store 2 years after leaving, and no one I knew works there anymore. It's like a whole new environment.
Oh my God, that's actually crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Well, he should have baked himself into the bagel, because how do you stay?
That's the thing, is like, you do something like that at work. How do you come back to work the next day? I'm giving him 2 weeks. I'm leaving.
How is he not embarrassed?
I mean, probably was, to be fair.
Yeah, because this is ridiculous. You see what I'm saying?
Sorry. I messed up the story. She said yes.
Oh.
And then that same day after said no. Basically, I don't want to publicly say no to you.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah. I just remember laughing because, like, this is just uncomfortable to watch because you picked the area in front of the bathrooms to do this.
It probably smelled not great.
You picked work to do this. You could literally clock out and go out for dinner.
Just do a regular dinner. That's it.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be flashy. This is like, why? Why did it need to happen? You're on the clock. Like, what are you doing?
Listen, I am all for doing nonsense while you're on the clock.
Oh, for sure. But not this, not embarrassing nonsense, you know?
No,
take an extra smoke break.
Girls up.
Sit down and have a quick sandwich. Take a snack. Go for a longer bathroom break. Get on your phone. Don't propose in front of the bathrooms.
This is crazy. Oh, listen, if you guys have more anonymous like this, I just need you to send it. Send it right now. All right. We need it. We are in desperate need.
I would like to be asked to come on for an Oops All Anonymous, Sasha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like
in the gauntlet.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a moment like this. You know, I know I'm not as big name as some of your other guests that get to do that. And I know Kirsten leaves when I'm here, but hopefully one time Kirsten stays and I can be on Oops All Anonymous.
You on the podcast and you have never messaged us, so it equals you ain't listening.
Yeah, I did hear the shady stuff y'all said 2 weeks ago, but I have the decency to not make it a whole public thing. And give you the benefit of the doubt.
Let's start drama, baby. Drama sells. All press is good press. Bad press is good press. Okay, let's do it. No, we will. Listen, it's fine. You want to come on? We can have you on.
Thank you.
You tell us. Okay.
Would love that.
We love this. And again, thank you, Pooya, for coming on. Listen, we just needed to talk inside. It was important.
You and I needed to find a way to do it, and I'm very happy that y'all gave the platform up on Mess Magnus for that opportunity.
Listen, it's messy. Everyone, check out Inside. And thank you for listening. Listen, I didn't even yell at y'all because we need 5-star reviews. All right. 5 stars only. We didn't yell at you this time. So it's time. We need the 5 stars. And we told you as soon as the celebrity, we're going to do the live. Okay. We're going to do live Mess Magnets. It's going to be ridiculous. So let's get crazy. All right. Leave us the 5-star reviews. Help us out. Tell Kirsten you missed her. Okay. Put that in the 5-star reviews.
Tell me you loved me.
Yes. Okay. Give everyone some fun gifts. That is all I know as 5-star reviews. And with that, Pooya, thank you for coming. Where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Pooyaism, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. And if you're looking for me on a podcast, I talk about 90 Day Fiance and MILF Manor right now. They're both on the same feed. You can check those out. MILF Manor is very unhinged. So if you're looking for unhinged conversations with myself, Chappelle, and Jenny on the regular, that's where you can find that. Rob joins sometimes against his will. Sometimes it feels like, but you know, it is what it is. And outside of that, Traders Quebec, I talked about the first 7 episodes of that with Annabelle, which is a lot of fun. Traders New Zealand is coming up at the end of the month. So that I'm gearing up for that. And obviously, when Big Brother season's on, you and I will be heavily involved in dealing with that in our lives. So well, you can find us there too.
Yes. And if you want to know more about Mess Magnets, just check out everything in the description. If you want to hear us, because we are a weekly podcast, we just go live, not live, we post on YouTube randoms, but we are a weekly pop culture podcast. So check us out on Rob has a website /mess feed. Okay. And for me, I am talking other YouTube show, Jet Lag. So if you want to know more about jet lag, it is an amazing race. taskmaster mixed in together with a whole lot more personality. So Taryn Armstrong and I are talking jet lag right here on this Roberts Podcast YouTube channel. So check that out. And Chappelle and I are talking Below Deck ? At least Below Deck Med season 11 or 12. Oh my god. Episode 2. I can't remember, y'all. I'd be lying. That's wrong. It's season 9.
I was gonna say 9. I was gonna say 9. Okay.
You know I lie. The thing is, they have thrown me off because it's usually Below Deck Down Under, okay, or Sailing, and we're here. Whatever, I'll be fine. So either way, check out Below Deck. That is all. This is messy. This is Nest Magnets. Y'all know how the vibe. And Mike Bloom and I have launched a new podcast called TV for Real, where we're gonna be interviewing and talking with your favorite reality TV people about scripted shows. So check out TV for Real on We Know Scripted TV on all platforms. So check that out. Rob came on and talked about how he wrote Star Trek fan fiction. You don't want to miss it, all right? Tumblr girly before he was Tumblr girly. And if you can't keep track of that, just follow me on Twitter at funsize_04 to keep track. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye.